right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
A mass celebration.
Our new pope, so I'm excited for it.
It's a gift.
How local Catholics are honoring the world's new pope.
A dry and picture-perfect Mother's Day weekend. Monday, it's back to reality as the rain chances return. We're tracking the timing and how much rain you can expect.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Laura Barcheski. Mike Bush has the night off. We start tonight with a developing story out of North City. Just hours ago, police say a deadly shooting broke out in the Ville neighborhood. 5 on Your Side's Annie Krall's in the newsroom now after just getting back from the scene. Annie, what can you tell us?
Laura, it was a large scene tonight at the intersection of Newstead and Moffett Avenues. At least a dozen police cars were partially blocking off traffic. People who live nearby telling me tonight's deadly shooting makes them nervous for more of the same this summer. St. Louis Metro police officers at the scene say a young woman, quote, tragically lost her life after a shooting around 7:45 p.m. This silver car was the victim's, police tell us, being towed less than an hour ago off of a grassy area near the intersection. The scene partially cut off traffic. It left onlookers confused and especially scared for their families who live in the area, including one man who didn't want to show his face, but said he heard about 10 to 15 gunshots on his way to the store, saying it was a scene of chaos and sadness tonight.
Just like rapid shooting, not machine gun shots, just kind of rapid shooting. That's it. I ain't heard no car squealing or nothing like that. Just but something that need to be, you know what I'm saying, addressed as soon as we can. But it's starting to be all too common.
And several people standing at the scene watching the investigation unfold also told me how much harder losing a young woman is on a night when people should be coming together, like Mother's Day. Laura?
Annie, thank you. We have an update tonight in the death of a detainee in the Florissant Police Department's jail. About 90 minutes ago, police told us they believe the man may have died by suicide. Officers found the 35-year-old detainee dead in his cell at 6 this morning. The department said in a statement their thoughts are with the victim's family. The investigation has been turned over to St. Louis County Police. Turning to the weather now, let's get over to Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell with the weather impact forecast. Scott, we had such a beautiful Mother's Day, but it's looking like things are going to change up tomorrow.
Yeah, we get a little bit of an adjustment going into tomorrow, but hey, how about a dry weekend? Both yesterday and today dry for Mother's Day, no less. Can't beat that. And what a glorious afternoon. Plenty of sunshine. We had a high today of 81 degrees. This is the first weekend. The last 3 weekends were wet. So this weekend, it was just absolutely awesome. There's just no other word to describe it. Look across the region tonight. We are starting to see the clouds increase, especially south and southeast of St. Louis. Our temperatures are backing off. Some of the outlying areas already down into the 60s, lower 70s in St. Louis. It's that upper level system down to the south that once again meanders back in here. And you know the upper level systems we've dealt with in the last week and a half have been in absolutely no hurry to get out. So that means the rain chances will return tomorrow. Not a washout, but off and on showers and maybe a rumble of thunder. And it's mainly light rainfall totals that'll wind down by Tuesday afternoon. We're looking at near 90 degrees, we think, on Thursday. We'll talk more about that and the potential for thunderstorms in a few minutes, Laura.
Scott, thanks. We're getting some new information tonight in an officer-involved shooting in North St. Louis County. It happened last night along Green Valley Drive. County police say an officer was responding to a shot spotter call there and found a man with a gun. The man pointed it at the officer, and then the officer shot at the man. He was taken to the hospital. We don't know the severity of his injuries. The officer was unharmed. Right now, police are investigating a deadly crash in St. Clair County. Illinois State Police say they found a flipped-over car on fire this morning on I-55 in East St. Louis. ISP says one person died at the scene. They were the only person in the car. The ramp was shut down for a few hours this morning while crews investigated. National Police Week is underway in Washington, D.C. to remember the law enforcement officers who gave their lives in the line of duty. 345 names will be added to the roll call of heroes. That includes St. Louis police officer David Lee. He was hit and killed by a car along I-70 back in September while responding to an accident call. Officer Lee was honored last week at the Missouri Law Enforcement Memorial's Wall of Honor in Jefferson City and the Police Memorial statue in downtown St. Louis. SLMPD has arranged for his family to be in D.C. this week to honor him.
They
They contacted me and said, hey, would you like to represent David? And of course, I will always represent David. It's still unreal. Like, I still feel like David's here with me right now. He's standing here like, little sis, you good? Like, you're doing a wonderful job. And that's why I'm smiling, because I know my brother's always going to be here to protect me.
Officer Lee's name will be engraved on the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial. His name will be read aloud during a candlelight vigil Tuesday night. The National Peace Officers Memorial service will take place Thursday at the U.S. Capitol. Today, Pope Leo XIV delivered his first Sunday blessing and Vatican address since becoming the pontiff. Thousands gathered in St. Peter's Square for the speech. The Pope called for peace in Ukraine and Gaza, as well as the return of humanitarian aid deliveries in Gaza. He also celebrated the recent ceasefire between India and Pakistan. Pope Leo told the crowd he will continue Pope Francis's fight for peace.
In today's dramatic scenario of a third world war being fought piecemeal, as Pope Francis said, I too turn to the world's leaders with an ever-timely appeal. Never again war.
Vatican officials expected more than 150,000 people to attend today. They're expecting even more for the Pope's installation Mass next Sunday. Here in Missouri, the Archdiocese of St. Louis honored the newly elected Pope. Dozens of people attended a celebratory Mass at the Cathedral Basilica. 5 on Your Side's Mercedes McKay takes us inside the cathedral as parishioners shared their excitement for the first American Pope.
A light peeking through the Cathedral Basilica Sunday morning depicted the perfect symbol of what Catholics believe is yet to come.
It's a very good day. We're very happy. We think that the Pope will lead us in the right direction.
The packed pews showed the excitement around Pope Leo XIV, already making history and shocking the world days into his papacy as the first American Pope.
Those who are chronologically advanced Catholics may remember the term deleterious pleasure. Deleterious pleasure means taking some delight in another's misfortune. And when Pope Leo's name was announced, I must admit that I took some deleterious pleasure and that all of those making their predictions were wrong.
Not only is he from the United States, Pope Leo XIV also has roots to the bi-state, growing up in Chicago and even living in St. Louis for a period of time.
I just think that means that you can find holiness anywhere. You never know if the person you're walking next to on the street is going to be the next pope.
It's a delight to have someone not only from Chicago, but from the United States to lead us into the next generation, next phase of the Catholic Church.
The Archbishop of St. Louis, Mitchell Rosansky, believes the new Pope's universal background will bring a fresh viewpoint to the Holy Church.
He's had the experience of being born in the United States, being from North America, but of ministering for many years in South America. And that brings a totally different perspective to the papacy.
A perspective that Catholics all around St. Louis are eager to witness and follow.
I think his words will echo to the peace that we all desire in our troubled world and in those troubled regions of the world. And he will totally be a force for peace in the whole world.
Mercedes McKay, 5 on Your Side.
Archbishop Rosansky added choosing the name Leo harkens back to Pope Leo XIII, who he says stood for recognizing the dignity of all people. Right now, you can help provide needed relief for survivors of domestic violence. In honor of Mother's Day, the St. Louis County Department of Human Services is holding a supply drive for the Spa Closet program. The program provides self-care items for women at the Kathy J. Weinman Domestic Violence Shelter. You can donate things like face masks, makeup, and nail sets at any St. Louis County library or Parks and Rec location. That drive runs through May 15th.
One student's big moment leads to an even bigger surprise for her dad.
I'm absolutely blessed.
See the graduation walk decades in the making. Postage problems. A price surge on stamps leads to a surge of new scams. We verify how you can protect your cash.
There are weather adjustments heading our way this week, including a good chance we hit 90 for the first time this year. Why that doesn't last, and the latest on the returning rain chances for the bi-state area tomorrow in 6 minutes.
In under 12 hours, Olympic gold medalist Simone Biles will be at Washington University. The legendary gymnast is this year's commencement speaker for tomorrow's graduation ceremony. She will also receive an honorary Doctor of Humane Letters. 5 others will receive honorary degrees, including actress and St. Louis native Jennifer Lewis. Biles' husband, Jonathan Owens, is also a St. Louis native. You can watch Simone Biles' speech and the full commencement ceremony on 5+, the streaming app starting tomorrow at 9 a.m. You can download the free app on your Roku, Apple, Fire, or Samsung TVs. Just search KSDK in the App Store. A Washington University graduate finally celebrated his graduation after 36 years. This comes as his daughter graduates the university's School of Arts and Sciences.
36 years ago, Edward Washington II couldn't attend his own graduation from Washington University Law School.
I didn't have the resources to stick around here at St. Louis. My mom was back in Chicago. As I describe her, as a divorced, displaced, working mom who was putting 5 kids through private schools.
He only had enough money to make it back home and study for the bar.
So we just couldn't swing getting back down. So over the years, that haunted me.
He became a successful lawyer and judge in Cook County, Illinois. Later, Ed started a family of his own and wanted to provide for them the same way his mom did. His daughter followed in his footsteps, graduating from WashU's pre-med program and played volleyball for the school.
Looking back on it, I realized I did so much, and I'm really proud of where I am.
To see that she has grown and provided this opportunity to develop both intellectually and physically to a student athlete and is going on a journey further, I'm absolutely blessed.
So when the family came back to campus to see Mackenzie Washington graduate, Ed's mom received the ultimate Mother's Day gift, seeing him graduate too.
I feel great, but I feel so much joy for my mother to be able to let her know that I really appreciate the gift that she gave me.
So I just thought it was awesome that he could finally get the recognition that he deserves.
This was the first time Judge Washington's mother was able to see WashU's campus. It was a warm day today for all of those celebrations. Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell joins us now with the weather impact forecast.
Yes.
Scott?
And what a great story, too. I think his daughter kind of put that together and said, hey, my dad didn't get to come here for his graduation.
Beautiful.
I mean, it's just great. And WashU, a bloom. Everything is, nice and green because we've had so much rain. Fortunately, a dry weekend this weekend. That's St. Charles. We just like to look and see what's going on across the area. Lambert, busy tonight. There's another plane taxiing in this evening. So you're looking at pretty good flying weather around St. Louis. Tomorrow, we may have a few showers, couple of thunderstorms, nothing severe, not going to be a washout, but we'll have to navigate some of that as we go through tomorrow. It's still 70 at Scott Air Force Base, 63 in DeSoto, 60 out in Warrenton. Our coolest areas tonight, most likely northwest of St. Louis in the upper 50s. As you go farther south and southeast, we'll stay well above 60 degrees because we are watching those clouds roll in. We think most of the morning commutes on the dry side by 8, 9 o'clock will start to bring in a chance for at least a few showers. Guess what? It's another upper level system. It's meandering down to the south, and we told you it was going down there this weekend. Now it's starting to drift back up. At least it's staying on schedule. Now, while it's not a fast mover, it will keep moving. It'll drift in here tomorrow, but then this system coming into the west coast is going to kind of nudge it out of here by Tuesday night into Wednesday. So here you are tomorrow morning. We're watching those showers push in from the southeast. Not especially heavy rainfall and not continuous. There'll be some breaks in here. There may be a few rumbles of thunder tomorrow afternoon. It's not out of the question, but not a severe weather setup for us. We're going to see temperatures tomorrow in the 70s for highs, though much of the day may very well be spent in the 60s. After things settle down late Monday night, early Tuesday morning, as we go into Tuesday afternoon, we pop a few more scattered showers or thunderstorms across the area, but the coverage isn't as great Tuesday as that system starts to push away. And again, it's highly variable rainfall amounts. If you're under one of those downpours, maybe you get one in the morning and a thunderstorm in the afternoon, even though it's not severe, that could get you over a ½ an inch of rainfall. But for most of us, we won't see that much. Next 7 days, you have the rain chance tomorrow. You have a rain chance on Tuesday. Wednesday and Thursday, basically dry here and a big time warming trend. Near 90 for the first time on Thursday. Now, Thursday's an interesting day because let's talk about tomorrow hour by hour. Best chances morning through lunchtime for showers and storms, and then they're more scattered later in the day. Now let's talk about Thursday. You have energy coming at us Thursday, but it's focused to the north. So even though we hit 90 degrees, we think, and it's humid, and you would think, man, we're going to fire off all kinds of thunderstorms. Looks like there's a little bit of warm air and the focus farther north. That's why we are not anticipating much in the way of rain Thursday, and we'll probably have to wait until next weekend before the rain chances ramp back up. But next Sunday and into the following week, we'll be keeping a close watch for the severe weather potential then.
Well, hello, it's time to go on the move. 18-wheelers are everywhere. Some of us get very anxious driving near those long-haul trucks, which is understandable, especially when you've seen reports of accidents involving trucks.
Here are some pictures from a couple weeks ago when a semi carrying an oversized load scraped an overpass in Sullivan, Missouri. MoDOT had to close the bridge over 44 to determine the amount of damage and make repairs. So I talked to David Pike with NFI, a leading trucking carrier, about training truck drivers to prioritize safety on the roads.
You will find companies putting in many safety protocols like the Smith systems, which is very common in our industry, and it is ongoing through coaching, through counseling, through discussions, through training, through teaching. It is a non-stop environment that we teach year-round, 365 days a year.
So what's the most important tip for drivers when it comes to driving near a big rig?
Simply just give us space. The average weight of a semi, including all of its contents if loaded, is typically 80,000 pounds. It doesn't stop on a dime. And there are inherently blind spots.
Remember, we are sharing the road. No one is in any bigger hurry than anyone else.
Isn't that the truth? Take a breath, give some extra space, and be safe. Paul Cook, 5 on your side.
Up ahead next, delivery dangers as postage costs rise, new scams arise, how you can stamp out scammers. Tonight, a breakthrough in the hostage situation in Gaza. Hamas plans to free the last known living American hostage, Edon Alexander. The group has been negotiating the release with President Trump for days now. U.S. officials also say these talks could lead to a new ceasefire deal and a restart of aid deliveries to Gaza. Alexander could be freed as soon as tomorrow. New tonight, U.S. officials are suggesting a trade deal may be in the works with China. This comes after a weekends-long trade discussion with Chinese officials in Switzerland. Both U.S. representatives referred to an agreement between the two countries but didn't provide further details. However, they say their talks could lead to the end of this trade crisis.
The United States has a massive $1.2 trillion trade deficit. So the president declared a national emergency and imposed tariffs. And we're confident that the deal we struck with our Chinese partners will help us to work toward resolving that national emergency.
The Trump administration is expected to provide additional details tomorrow. Just hours ago, President Donald Trump announced plans to sign a new executive order slashing prices for prescription drugs. The president says this will reduce prices by 80%. He also says this will equalize prices around the world, and other countries may see a price hike to compensate. Trump will sign the order tomorrow morning. Developing tonight, Russian President Vladimir Putin is offering another way towards peace in Ukraine. Putin proposed restarting direct talks with the country. This comes after Ukraine and other European countries demanded a ceasefire start by tomorrow. Putin says these talks would be held in Istanbul on the 15th. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky says he's ready to meet despite Russia not agreeing to the ceasefire. Right now, a new scam is circulating on social media advertising stamps at a deep discount. But is this too good to be true? Stephanie Haney verifies what sites are legitimate.
The price of U.S. Forever stamps is expected to go up in July by 5 cents, from 73 cents to 78 cents to be exact. And with that, you might have seen more posts like these on social media advertising discounts on bulk stamp orders. So let's verify. Can you buy U.S. Forever stamps at a deep discount online? Our sources are the United States Postal Service and Stamps.com. U.S. Postal Inspector Ian Ortega told me USPS does not sell stamps below face value. If stamps are offered at a significant discount, like 20 to 60% off, then it is a scam. Sounds simple enough, right? Here's where it gets a little tricky. You can buy Forever stamps directly from the U.S. Postal Service, and you can also buy them from approved postal providers. Ortega also told me approved vendors can include legitimate warehouse retailers who do provide very small discounts on postage stamps, but through resale agreements with the Postal Service. One of those approved vendors is Stamps.com, and they advertise right on their site that you can get postage discounts you can't even get at the post office. So we can verify, no, you can't buy U.S. Forever stamps at a deep discount online, but you can buy them at a slight discount from USPS partners like Stamps.com. If you have any doubt about whether the site you're thinking of using is legitimate, you can check the approved vendors list at tools.usps.com/locations. With your Verify, I'm Stephanie Haney.
Sweet celebrations. See how people in Chicago are coming up with new ways to celebrate the new pope. The city of Chicago is coming up with more ways to celebrate Pope Leo XIV. A small bakery in the city is now selling cookies with a picture of the pontiff surrounded by sprinkles. So far, they've made more than 300 Pope cookies, and within a day, sold over 6 dozen. The owner says while he's not Catholic, he's always happy to celebrate someone from his hometown. We have a good week ahead. Scott has a final check of the weather. Scott?
Our rainfall is not going to be excessive, we don't think, over the next few days. We do have the shower and thunderstorm chances tomorrow and Tuesday. Tomorrow, a little wetter than maybe Tuesday. Most of us won't get heavy rain, but there'll be a few downpours in the 70s. By Thursday, we're up to 90, and we have better rain chances going into next Sunday and the week after. So we'll see a chance at that point of some severe weather. I think we're going to get lucky this week and miss most of the severe weather opportunities, which is good.
And there you have it. 5 on your side at 10. We're always streaming on 5+. Then start your day with Today in St. Louis beginning at 4 a.m.